What happens when a graduate student discovers their professor stole their research? In 2014, I completed the final year of my master's degree at a university in the city of Northvale. Every student had to finish a major research project before graduation. My academic supervisor was a respected researcher named Dr. Melissa. I first started working with Melissa while I was still an undergraduate student. By the time I finished my master's degree, we had already worked together for almost 4 years. Like many student and mentor relationships, we occasionally disagreed about how experiments should be handled. Melissa preferred older methods, while I believed newer technology and stronger statistical analysis could improve our research. Even with those disagreements, we worked well together. I visited her home several times and believed she wanted to help me succeed. During the final months of my program, I defended my dissertation in front of the university board. The professors praised my work, and I felt proud of everything I had accomplished. At that time, none of my findings had been published in scientific journals yet. I wanted to continue studying the data so I could create a stronger paper later on. However, my dissertation was officially stored in the university archives, meaning the research, experiments, charts, and results were clearly connected to me. After earning my degree, I decided to pursue a doctorate. Although I planned to remain in the same field, I wanted to learn different techniques and gain experience with another research team. I discussed this idea with Melissa, and she encouraged me to study abroad. Soon afterward, I contacted a professor at another university in a different country. I was accepted into the doctoral program and moved overseas to begin a new chapter of my life. During the first couple of years, Melissa and I exchanged messages from time to time. Then, without explanation, she slowly stopped responding. Several years later, while preparing material for my own academic papers, I discovered a published study that immediately caught my attention. The subject sounded almost identical to my previous work. Curious, I opened the paper and began reading it carefully. At first, I felt excited because I assumed Melissa had continued researching the topic after I left. Her name appeared on the paper together with one of her newer graduate students. But the deeper I read, the more uncomfortable I became. The tables looked familiar. The graphs matched my own results exactly. I searched the paper from beginning to end, expecting to see my name included somewhere as a contributor. Instead, there was no mention of me at all. The study presented my research as if it belonged completely to them. I was shocked and upset. I immediately wrote an email to Melissa asking for an explanation and pointing out that the material clearly came from my dissertation. Days passed without any response. That silence convinced me the situation was intentional. Fortunately, I had always kept detailed records of my work. Every draft, chart, experiment log, and data file had been carefully saved on protected storage drives with dates attached to each folder. I also still had copies of my approved dissertation, which proved the research had been completed years earlier under my name. Research projects in my country were funded through public grants, so I decided to report the issue to the organization responsible for supporting the study. I sent a detailed message explaining everything and attached evidence showing the timeline of my research. I also contacted the journal that had published the article and informed them that the paper contained material taken directly from my original work, without permission or credit. About 2 weeks later, I received replies from both groups. The funding organization reacted seriously after reviewing the evidence. Financial support connected to Melissa and her student was suspended while the case was investigated further. The academic journal officially removed the paper from publication after confirming the problem. Years later, I learned that Melissa lost her position at the university. She never contacted me again, and I have no desire to reconnect with her in the future. Eventually, I completed my own publications using the research I had worked so hard to create, and my contributions became properly recognized within the field. Some people may think reporting her was too harsh, but I never regretted defending my own work. Allowing someone else to claim it as their own would have been unfair not only to me, but also to every honest researcher trying to earn recognition the right way.